emCROWD Designs. Hello, world. Thanks for tuning in, coming to view my first official project. So, a little story about me. I'm emCROWD. Um, I went to school for graphic design, dropped out, didn't quite make it. Just partying too much, I guess. But I don't know. I took a long time off and decided to come back to art. And I don't know, man. Sometimes you just got to take that mental vacation. It's been like 10 or more years. And like sometimes you really just have to take that mental vacation, just back off, go do other things, practice art in other ways, and come back, and all your skills and everything will come back together. So, with that being said, I'm designing, drawing Nipsey Hustle. Um, I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, I am kind of like teaching myself color theory on the fly, and I'm teaching myself a lot of this stuff on the fly, honestly. I just came to it, and if my skills or my art abilities are like light, then Procreate and this Apple Pencil is like a prism. It like kind of focused everything. And I don't know. Sometimes as an artist, you got to just understand, you just got to bite that bullet. And you just can't be too like prideful. Sometimes when you like start over and just go back through the basics and play with the basics a little bit, draw within them lines, you understand that tracing and everything really isn't that bad. And this is what they teach you in a lot of schools or whatever. So, I don't know. It kind of like all fell into place. I said I took that mental break, and here I am, 2020 during the pandemic. Now, you see me like playing with this little color ball thing. Like, like I said, I'm trying to just like put myself together, put everything back, and sometimes I've felt like this will like help me. Like just trying to create a color ball, trying to see what all colors I could use or how I could possibly use them. And you'll see me color this picture multiple times. Like because I was trying to make it perfect, and like I said, I'm kind of like teaching myself color theory. And I, as an artist, whenever I try to like physically paint on canvas, I noticed that I would get to a lot of the levels and sections that I'm at now. Now I'm using like this burn and saturation brush that I downloaded from Hayes Long. Go check out her YouTube, man. It helped me out a lot. And I downloaded her brush pack. I actually bought them or whatnot. I didn't feel right downloading something for free. But I don't know, she has some really cool brushes in there. And she even has these like pupil or eye brushes or whatever. I haven't really used them, or I'm probably not even going to use them, but they're pretty cool. And I'm not going to use them just because I feel like, as an artist, like some things I rather just do physically myself. So you see me like I'm recoloring it now. I'm trying to use this color ball, and something I learned in Procreate is that like I don't know, like color picking really doesn't help because for me it feels like when you try to color pick a certain color, you're not really picking up on the relationships of the colors, like, and how they like interact with each other. So I really don't like the color pick. I might color pick at the like end or something like that when I'm trying to put maybe like a finishing touch on what I've already put down. But I don't really like the color pick. I couldn't even really color pick from this ball. And that's probably why I was like starting over so many times. But like I said, I'm trying to teach myself a lot of stuff on the fly. You see me coloring outside the lines, just trying to figure this out, not utilizing a lot of tools that Procreate has to offer. So you'll be able to see like my adjustments and everything like that in my journey. Because, like I said, this is my first video, and this is my first project that I actually have done and finished in Procreate. Like, I don't know. It was like an amazing journey. So, once again, thank you for tuning in. And I'm not going to just like bore you to death like being like all these other YouTubers or whatnot. No disrespect. I just like focusing on this art and this canvas and like trying to tell you what I'm doing or whatnot. Like hopefully you're like doing your own thing right now and like just using this to help guide you or coach you or just see what I'm doing and learn some of my techniques or learn from some of my mistakes or just join me on the journey. But I don't know, man. Like teaching yourself all this on the fly, like sometimes you need that extra help. And Procreate and this iPad Pro and this Apple Pencil, like, are freaking amazing. I don't know. I almost feel like when you've been doing something, and like everything that you need in the physical world, like the paper, the paint, and mixing paint and all that other stuff, and it's cool. But for me, it just felt like the energy that I'm using in to mix this paint is probably taken away from maybe my proportions, or maybe it's taken away from how idealistically I want it to look, or even if that's a word. But I don't know. Don't be too crucial on me at all, please. But I don't know, man. 2020, it's an interesting year. And I guess now is just the perfect time for me to revisit all of my old skills and techniques and try to come up with um, something better in life. Better quality in life. That's all we ever strive for. So, like I was saying, hopefully you're doing your own thing. I didn't add music to this video because I wanted to let you do your own thing. Like, I don't know if you're bumping music on the back, like in your background or whatnot. I don't know if you're bumping music or doing your own thing, or I didn't want that to distract you from what's going on here in my voice, or maybe you're not even listening to my voice or whatnot. But hopefully you are. But I don't know. 2020 is the year for rebuilding. I don't know. It's like the phoenix or something rose from the ashes, and everything is just crazy from this pandemic to all of the riots or protests, rather. I'd rather say protests than riots. Um, I don't know. It's just an interesting time that we live in. It's a bittersweet time. And you kind of just got to be thankful for everything that's going on. So you see me here playing with colors, and like I said before, well, I really didn't say it before, but I don't really like to color. Well, I did. I don't like to color pick. I like to try to find colors and use them and try to find those relationships in between colors to try to really make things pop. And I don't know. Sometimes you gotta just redo it until you get it right. And I don't know. I think that's where my issue lies in like physically trying to paint, because I'm not really that great at color theory. So it's like mixing colors to get to the color I want. It takes a long time, but I can get to the color. But it just takes a long time, and it takes me a lot of wasted paint to get to it. But with here, it's like, I don't know, you kind of figure, oh, well, I need this color. And then it's like, well, I need it to be a little brighter, I need a little darker. And like, whenever I'm picking a color in Procreate, I like to use the disc, the classic form. And whenever I find colors that I like, I quickly make a palette. So my palettes will probably be overrun here shortly, because like I'm just adding a lot of colors, a lot of popular colors, and I have to go back in here and figure out how to delete them or whatnot. But as you can see, I finally got like on board, close to where I wanted the face to be, and I am somewhat of a perfectionist, and I literally printed this picture out, like sent it to have it printed and everything like that on a canvas. And then I thought I was done. And then, me, I'm a perfectionist. I look back, I'm like, well, the hair could be a little bit better. Or, oh, I didn't do add eyelashes, or I need to add better eyelashes or something like that. So I can really tell that this Procreate and iPad and everything, every item that I create or every image that I create, I can just really see myself like fine tuning it. So if you buy an image, like it's crazy, like, but that doesn't mean I'm like producing like bad images or low quality stuff or not like that, because I'm not. But I don't know. Just check me out. I'm finally like getting closer to the colors that I wanted, and I like to start with the face, like the skin of the face, just the overall skin and complexion and everything, like as far as painting goes. But when you're tracing, you got to understand that it's a part of the process, and it is something that is taught or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with it. Some artists probably need to trace because their proportions are off. And I don't know, it's not really like you're just drawing the line, every line that you see, but you're more so like drawing within lines with guidelines. So that's one way I try to approach this whole Procreate movement or what have you. I just try to imagine that I'm tattooing and tattooing on the screen. I don't know how to tattoo, or I tried. I got a tattoo gun. I just played around, but I never done it, tattooed anybody or anything like that. I don't know. I'm one of those people that have a hard time with like submission, if you will, because it seems like a lot of people, like if I try to go out and get like an apprenticeship, it seems like in this world we really have zero control. And 2020 is really showing us that. And it's hard for me to subjugate myself to another individual's will, because a lot of people really aren't genuine and they just want to take advantage of you. And I just really can't get down with that. And maybe I'll never tattoo because of that or what have you, but I don't know, I think it'd be a real disappointment. Now you see I'm over here doodling, I'm like, I found another brush, and I was just trying to see if I could work it in there, because that's part of the process. You got to figure out what you can do, what you can't do. But I don't know. I'm gonna use this brush in later projects. I really like it. I like the somewhat textures I was creating with it, and the gradients and everything, the shading with it. It's pretty cool. Um, but to kind of get back on subject, or on a subject, don't be fooled. I know like sometimes watching videos and stuff like this can be like somewhat intimidating, but I'm not just using this little image that I created on a layer. You have to use plenty of layers, but I'm not just using that image. I'm using the image on my phone. So I have like my phone put up beside me, and I'm zoomed in all on my phone for whatever feature I'm using, and I'm trying to use that image. And one thing that I really realized, I really realized, one thing that I noticed within myself by using this Procreate is that a lot of the painting issues that I came up with, like, I got that from, I don't know where I got it from, but a lot of the painting issues that I deal with, it's like, I feel like maybe, I feel like this process now has really showed me that I probably would be a really good painter if I had a projector. And that's funny, because it's like sometimes I get lost in the sauce. I be over here painting and all that and trying, and I get lost in the paint. And it's like, oh man, if I could just bring that outline back. And that's one thing I love about this, because you can always bring your outline back, or your shading lines back and so on and so forth because you do that on different layers, and you can adjust the paint closer to whatever you need it to be. And with this hair, I'm learning a lot of stuff, and I'm going through with this hair and just trying to use every skill that I have available to me to create the best or realistic process that I possibly could. But on a different note, not to just be so art, blah, 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 business related, um, I hope 2020 is treating you all well. You know, crazy times between COVID, protests, or, police brutality. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a crazy time we're living in. Now we got masks on. I'm one of those people that believe in wearing masks. I've been wearing a mask since January almost, and I'm one of those people that have been talking about this since January. So it's kind of awkward. I'm like, I was that guy asking my supervisor or manager, like, so what y'all gonna do if COVID get out of hand? Like, what are y'all gonna do if it mess up the supply chain, or could it mess up the supply chain, or all this other stuff? And they're just like, as long as it stay over there, I'm fine. And I don't think it's nothing worse than the flu. Lo and behold, I'm sorry if you hear my dog. He's snoring. I mean, it is kind of late when I'm creating this. And I got babies and all that. I got like 3 kids, my wife, and the house and the dog is just always loud during the days. So I got to get in where I fit in. And luckily, right now on the weekend is the best time for me. They're asleep. Like being with my kids and family. All of this, like COVID, man, it's like bringing us all closer together. Probably like pushing apart us just a little bit, but I think it's strengthening us more than anything, and that's a blessing. I could be like trapped in this house or what have you, or in this reality with somebody that's like that I couldn't stand being with. But luckily, I love my wife, love my kids, love my dog, love my babies, love my babies. So anyway, um, what do you guys like think of that whole George Floyd situation? Like me being an artist, I'm weird. I'm just trying to be honest. Like I'm not weird as in a weird way. I'm just weird as in I just don't like to believe everything that they tell us, or that everything that I'm told, or everything that I hear. And sorry if my voice is getting a little dry, but hmm, yeah, I'm trying to learn how to work this. Never mind. I just keep going. But this is so funny. I sound like a rookie completely. But I can't even remember what I was about to say. I'm just gonna keep going with it. I think the clothes and everything on here was like the easiest thing for me to like really come together with on this picture. Those chains or something else, all the reflections and everything. But I don't know. Like I was saying, could be horrible. Could be worse. It could be trapped in the house or in this reality with somebody that I clash with. But really blessed, really fortunate. But I hope you guys are like staying safe when you're out there. Like I believe in wearing masks. I've been wearing a mask since January. You know, that's where I was at. I was that guy like asking questions or like just trying to pick people's brains to see what they thought was coming around the pike. And it's kind of bittersweet because it was like, yeah, I knew shit was gonna hit the fan, but it's still building up, and people think it's over, and maybe it is for now, or maybe it'll subside or just flatten out for now. But I'm really worried about the colder months. But hope you guys are like trying to stay safe. Wear some glasses, man. Don't be out there touching your face, rubbing your eyes. I swear, I go to the store and I walk in through those like metal detectors and all that, and I just instantly feel like a gust of wind on my eye, and I'm like, oh shit, it's an eyelash about to be in my eye, and I'm about to get it. I gotta get it. And I was like, nah, man, don't touch your face. Don't touch none of that shit. It's so weird. But and then on top of that, being black, and I've been wearing masks to grocery stores. It feels so weird. And I got a balaclava, so it's so funny. I'm wearing this shit, and I got a mask under the balaclava, and I'm just like, man, all this drama and weird shit happening in the world, all this stuff with like George Floyd, like man, that shit was just so unfortunate, unnecessary. Like, oh man, that's I couldn't imagine that situation. It makes me wonder like why we don't fight back. But I don't know. God rest his soul. Uh, God forgive me for what I'm about to say now. But me being an artist, man, I like to look at the what ifs and the reality of the situations. And one of the what ifs or what have you of this situation is for me has always been why now? Why this whole situation with George Floyd now? And it was like just a perfect storm. And I don't know, part of me felt like, what if that whole situation, like, what if George Floyd was really like some type of sacrifice just to get people out protesting? Especially like after celebrities always get involved, I'm always like, oh man, I'm worried of any movement where the celebrities come out. And then you got all these movement, Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff, and Black Lives Do Matter. And, like, people don't understand that when a lot of people individually say that, they're not trying to say that other lives don't matter, but we are trying to say that in this world and society that we live in this matrix, we are the prey species right now. And it's like we're still fighting uphill battles on a daily basis, mentally, physically, and you know, maybe defunding the police wouldn't be that bad. Maybe everybody just need to be able to have their Second Amendment rights, like everybody. And shit, maybe we need to police ourselves, or maybe we just need a better system because they're definitely failing us all the ego trips and power. Like they're just power hungry. A lot of them, and a lot of them are really like weak minded individuals, weak people that like probably were like picked on or real timid or some shit in high school. But I don't know, that's another story. But part of me was wondering like, man, what if this whole situation was like some type of sacrifice or something? Like what if he was a sacrifice? I'm not saying that he didn't die or nothing like that, but I'm just saying like I don't know. It's just a lot of discrepancies that always pop up. Especially like you're seeing all these celebrities and everybody getting behind it. And we're in the midst of a pandemic, but since all of this stuff happened, everybody forgot about the pandemic. So it's like everybody or doesn't care, they're fed up with it, and it's just perfect timing. Life ain't the same, food ain't the same, food prices ain't the same. Man, I looked at this little weak pack of hamburger ground beef or whatever, man, they want $20 for like 3 pounds. I'm like, are you for real? Like man, this little pack don't even look scrumptious. Like this shit, I mean, this stuff don't even look that good. Like it's a big old lump of meat, and then there's like a little section over here that just slopes down, and it's like, man, where the rest of the meat at for $20? This shit, it's supposed to be like $12. But anyway, it's just like the perfect storm. Everybody been in the house. They've been closing off our recreation, like trapping us in our own homes, and then stressing us out. Money ain't the same. Everything ain't the same. And perfect storm. They basically asphyxiate a human being on live TV. I mean, not even live TV, but it's ironic that it's always a perfect angle for people, but they don't ever do nothing. Like, just be right there recording, like, it almost make you wonder if like it ain't some type of psyop. Like somebody really died or whatnot. Like, yeah, they did. But then his funeral and all this other stuff. And I understand people getting on board with the cause. But it's a lot of causes out there, and why all of a sudden this one? But, and then another thing that made me wonder, like, is this a sacrifice just to get this virus up and going and to keep it going through the summer or something like that? Because the guy in custody don't even look like the cop that was on his neck. And then on top of that, what about the other three officers? Are they gonna get like arrested or whatnot? And then on top of that, it's like, are we really gonna get justice? Are they gonna be in jail or real jail or anything like that? Or is this all just a show? All just a big old psyop where somebody really did get sacrificed, but probably was rewarded, the family or something. Because I know they getting paid through this. And then, man, I don't know. We're all crazy. Because personally, I thought this virus was going to really like fade away and or subside a little bit up here in North America and all that during the warmer months. And it kind of is. And I guess it's booming down in the other places where it's like winter right now. Like, it's crazy. But I don't know. Maybe these protests and like people getting tired and trying to celebrate holidays and being out there protesting and doing so on and so forth. Maybe this like was the like boost that the virus needed to like keep on moving through the summer and then like bang bang up in the winter, or not even the winter, maybe the fall, October, November. Like, man, shit gonna be crazy if this stuff does happen. But that's just me, man. I'm an artist, so I like to think about everything. You know, I don't like to just limit myself to one mind scheme or one idea or nothing like that, because I'm an artist. And like you can't be an artist and then just be like, oh, I only do things this way or not. Nah, you gotta be flexible. You gotta think. And you can't be afraid to think. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They're afraid to think. They lost their fire in this world to do that to you. It'll take your fire. Like you be out here just trying to find your way through the world and forget all about your fire, all about your gifts. Just be out here working jobs, 9 to 5s or whatever, just trying to make it, trying to stay above water. When you really got talents and you really got skills and you got abilities, but you got responsibilities that require you to not be able to put that much time and effort into that because you need something now. You need something guaranteed. And every day it's the same. I don't know. Some of these hustlers, man, they need to take a nap. They need to go to sleep. They need to get rejuvenized, you feel me? They need to go ahead and take a little nap, get some sleep. All that hustle, 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 no sleep shit, man. Hey, man, some of that shit show. People be looking tired, be looking old beyond their ages or whatnot. Don't get me wrong, you need to hustle hard when you're trying to hustle. But I don't know. How did I even decide to start trying Nipsey Hussle? Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't no real big Nipsey fan or nothing like that. Not because I listened to him and didn't like him, but honestly, when he was like coming out or when he was like really branching out on the scene, man, back then, shit, I was really into my iPod. Like iPods was really coming out, really boosting out up on the scene. Like from '05 to like '09, going from them just little iPods and all that, being able to have your music all on one thing. Like, that's where I was at. I was probably too busy listening to my own playlists and all that when he was out. When he was coming out on the scene, 2008, 2009 or nothing. I was too busy listening to Gucci and Mike Jones and a lot of other people, man. Tupac and like all that 90s rap and R&B and all that other stuff. But I don't know, man. I was just too busy into my Apple products then. But I don't know, Nipsey, he was a real dude. Like listening to some of the music, cause you can't just draw him and then not listen to the music or not try to figure out who he was. And he was an entrepreneur, man. He was a hustler. Like God rest his soul. And he was another one of them situations where I was like, man, that stuff don't make sense. Like in your own neighborhood, like all the discrepancies. There's always a whole bunch of discrepancies to whatever we find out on news, on the media, and all that other stuff. It makes it hard for you to really like completely digest everything they try to feed you. At least it does for me, cause like I say, I'm artist. Everything got art. Everything, no matter what's going on in the world, I feel like everything can be boiled down to like broken down into like simple 1 + 1 = 2 type stuff. Like everything, no matter how big or complex the issue, it always boils down to the same stuff over and over. But excuse me, there's a lot of talking, man. This little time lapse was like 40 something minutes. I was geek. And it was like I said, it was my first time doing all this. When I first watched it, I was geek. I was watching my little time lapse video. I said, oh shoot, I got the time lapse. And thank goodness it was on. I started watching the time lapse. I didn't know how to control it or nothing. I just kept sitting there watching the video. And it was like, I was like, dang, shit. Like, where am I at? I didn't know how to learn. I didn't learn how to work the video till I finished watching the video the first time. I'm watching the show, trying to watch the show with my wife. And she like, you watching that? I'm like, yeah, I'm still watching it. It's still going. So it's like another gift and a curse because, like, I don't know. This is like the perfect place for me right now. Like, Procreate, this iPad Pro, this second generation Apple Pencil, like, and how the world is, like, not even with the COVID and injustices. I'm just talking about technology wise. Because back when I was in school and all this playing around and all that, we didn't have this iPad Pro, man. I was just Illustrator. And I really wasn't in the Adobe Illustrator and all that. Like, not like this. So it's like, I don't know, I went on a mental journey, man. Out there training with King Kai, getting my true legend on, up here battling with the gods within my head, trying to figure out what's what. Like, literally, I have not drawn or designed or anything in like 3 years, probably like 3 years or more. Like, kids and just trying to stay above and keep working and all that, And shit changes you. Like, growing up changes you for real. So, to all the kids out there watching this, man, enjoy your youth. Like, I and you gotta forgive me. I'm even saying kids when I'm referring to like 23-year-olds or whatever. I'm 33, but even when I'm talking about like 23-year-olds, as grown as you feel, like you still are young, and you gotta enjoy that. And it's funny because you'll feel like I remember how I was, and I talk old and all that, but I'm not an old like old soul or not. I mean, I'm not an old person. I'm just an old soul. Always have been. But even in that, maybe that's my Achilles heel because, like, if you build a pyramid, you can build the best pyramid in the world. But if you build that foundation on like sand or something that ain't stable, excuse me. If you build that pyramid on top of the sand, not in it or not with no type of foundation or nothing around it, man, you're just gonna have a big mess no matter what. And you could be as mature or think you as big or bad or tough or you doing the thing as hard as you is or whatever you is during the time that you doing it. But in all reality, it take one mistake, one slip up, one change. It don't even have to be your fault. It could just be some natural shit that just occur and it's like just your time to like go through it so you can learn something different and change and grow into somebody new. Like you just never know what can happen in life to change you or to take you away from doing what not take away from doing what you supposed to be doing, or maybe you're not even doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then some extreme stuff happened to you and now everybody love you, like what's kind of going on in the media. But like I said, everybody out here protesting. I almost felt like he was a sacrifice, and then this the number one officer that did it wasn't even the first person on the scene. Like, motherfucker flew up out of nowhere. Like, oh no, let's get him. So I don't know when shit like this happen, and then the guy don't even look like him. That's in custody and all that. And, you can clearly see I draw people. Like, so it's just weird looking at that whole situation. But I don't know, man. God rest his soul, George Floyd. God rest his souls to everybody who suffered from the hands of police brutality and injustice. And hell, even just the injustice from the systems that we live under. Because being here in America, man, it's tough. People think it's just the land of dreams, freedom, opportunity, and all that. But when you black, man, shit's different. Shit is just different, man. It hit different. It really does. Because you never know what or when your last day could be, or why today could be your last day. It just could be your last day. Just going outside, going to the store, or whatever. You over here trying to social distance. You got a mask on. Now a police officer want to be all up in your face because he still got something to prove, and he got a itch he want to prove, and got a little itch. Mother want to try to kill you or do some nonsense, treat you like you nothing, just because they done went through some police academy, or they think they somebody because they ain't been nobody their whole life, and secretly they know they still ain't nobody. So I don't know, man. You just can't let people like that tear you down. And honestly, man, if it's my time, it's my time. If it's your time, it's your time. Like, you just can't bend the knee to everything or every demon that come in your face. So now you just gotta stand up for something. But if you're still here from the beginning, I really appreciate you. This is my first time with everything. I'm trying to tell you, it's my first time. And I was like shocked at how good this like turned out. And like you seen, man, I done tried to paint this so many different times. I done warped out the little reference picture that I had. I done had to replace the little reference picture. I done had to replace the big picture, big reference picture and everything. Trying to get lines, trying to make sure I could abstract as much as I can about the original photo and everything, and how I had it cropped. But I don't know. I'm really thankful. Can't wait to see what it looks like. emCROWD Designs, a website coming this week. Well, it's the week of June 14th. Fresh June 14th. And website coming this week. I'm gonna actually have my first canvas of this image. I'm supposed to be able to pick it up Monday, and if all is like good and all is well, if it looks as good as I've been hearing or whatnot, I sent the file or whatever, and everybody like, man, the file's damn near perfect for what you need. I'm like, all right. So hopefully everything work out. But I will have a website and Instagram and Facebook page and all that stuff coming here very quickly. That's one thing I will say, because I have dibbled and dabbled in all this before. I guess it just took me to mature and find myself, to really like find a niche, to find my niche, or however you say it. But everything gonna come fast, man. I'm trying to tell you. I got some ideas for more pictures. I'm gonna knock that shit out the ballpark. You feel me? Right now, I'm working on my daughter. I got some more images coming up very soon. I got I ain't even gonna tell you what all is coming. You know, subscribe, like, share, and watch me just build this art empire, man. I plan on I'm coming out the blue, with it. But real quick, let me get back on another subject. How'd I even come to drawing Nipsey if I wasn't even like a fan or somebody, or if I even ain't really know about him? Honestly, I was trying to draw Gucci, like old Gucci, not this new character, because I don't understand what the hell that happened there, especially for somebody who draw people. But I was trying to draw the old Gucci, trying to find the perfect picture, watching videos and all this. But his tattoos, man, I really couldn't make them out. I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what's going on. It shouldn't be this different. And then next thing you know, I'm like, Nipsey's picture was right there, and I'm like, the prolific God will rise and marathon, just everything he stood for. I just started paying attention to him. Like, you know what? Go with Nipsey. He got braids, he got this beard. This is a very powerful image of him. So go ahead and just go with it. See what you can create. And that's where I'm at, man. I'm playing Gucci 24 Hours, Young Dolphin, all this other stuff. And I started listening to the Marathon and Nipsey Hussle and everything, like some of his songs, like some of his collabs with like Game and other people and all that. And I don't know, man. It's really been a pleasure just to like for this intimate moment with dude. Like I don't know, it's like really been fire. So like, share, subscribe. emCROWDdesigns.com. I can say that because I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna end up getting it here probably next 24, 48 hours. So just check me out. Stay tuned. Like, I'm just trying to, I don't know. Old school told me, man. He said, once you get out there, man, come out there in that street, boy, it better be you. You better be ready. And over here, we believe in quality over quantity. I can't even talk this sort like, but over here we believe in quality over quantity, and that's what I want to do. Every piece I make, I want to knock that shit out the ballpark. I want y'all to be happy you got a piece from me. emCROWD Designs. I love you. Thank you. Check it out. Be safe. Hear that snoring? That's my dog, man. He lazy. I mean, he sleeps good. He had a couch and everything. That was the point I was supposed to stop the video, but I don't know. It kept going. I was just looking at it, like, dang, you did that, boy. Y'all want to buy it? You can get it. Price right now, I'm thinking about is $350. It's TREEFIDDY. Why? I'm like the Loch Ness monster. You see that emCROWD drippage right there? I'm just trying to say. I don't know. And I'm only doing this on canvas. I feel like some things don't deserve to just be printed out like a little print. But thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Y'all be safe out here.